it's social, political.
For politics, entertainment, news, and business. And this is KMTV. We are on your screen, we are everywhere. The best online Liberian platform you have. Make the best use of it. My name is Frank Artis, and I endorse this channel.
When the issues of Liberia hit the news,
what is it that we, the Liberian people, want?
the Liberian communities in the diasporas are not left out. That's why Diaspora's Talk is back on your screens on KMTV.
In fact, the United Party is not cohesive.
It's social, political, economic, and other issues affecting Liberia and the diaspora Liberian communities.
I did not expect to even make it to Hollywood.
Joan Cyrus McGee and Nathan Childs every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, live on KMTV, Facebook, and YouTube.
I want to be arrested in the midst of my people.
As they discuss the issues, blend the voices from Liberia and the diaspora Liberian communities.
The Liberian Business Association in the diaspora should be used as a vehicle for economic development in Liberia because no country can develop without a diaspora impact.
For sponsorship, call some numbers 612-806-5896, 816-433-3979, or better still, email us at usakmtv@gmail.com. Diaspora Talk, check this out.
Hi, my name is Dr. Kent. Welcome to Brooklyn Chiropractic. Come to Brooklyn Chiropractic if you're having any back or neck pain. Especially, we specialize in treating people in auto and work-related injuries. So we've been established here in Brooklyn Center for the last 14 years. And one of the pleasures that I have is helping out in the community. We've sponsored a lot of events throughout the years in the community. And we really appreciate being a part of the community. So if you're experiencing any pain, give us a try. If you want a drug-free way to get better. Thank you.
Last week I met my uncle in Bomi County. We're trying to still bring the opposition together. It couldn't be on one ticket, but there must be understanding that anybody who step up to get our support. If we don't do that, second round, we will not be able to reconcile ourselves. If we can solve our problem before the election, we will not be able to solve the problem. And John, we are being president, elected representative, make no difference. It makes no difference. Because any paper you bring there, we will pass it. We will eat the money, that will suffer. Any other thing the one in the ambassador say, everything the ambassador said are true. We can sell the money to the minister, we can go for it, we can eat it. The minister they now one said all of the hot, they say no. What do we do now? We get all of the hot. They tell you all of the hot, you know that we are not going to steal money to the president.
And I tell you, Representative Yeke Kolba there speaking toughly, as you know, he's always a tough talking lawmaker on national issues, and he was there speaking at the naming ceremony of the running mate of the standard bearer of the opposition Unity Party, Joseph Newman Boycott, as when he named Senator Jeremiah Kwan as his running mate in the upcoming general and presidential elections. My name is Cyrus McGee. On this, I'd like to welcome you to a brand new edition of the program Diaspora Talk here on KMTV. We are everywhere. That's why we are here on this wonderful Monday. It happens to be, the first day of the new year. Sorry for that little trip through. This first day of the new month, that is May 1, 2023, after a wonderful April climaxing with wonderful memories. And we now in May. May is a tough one indeed. We all know where we're starting from. It's going to be a lot of things happening in our country, Liberia, with months to the October
10th general and presidential elections. As we speak, there are two candidates who've already named their running mates. That is President George Weah Cuban, who's seeking a second term from the Liberian people. He already announced that he's taking Vice President Joe Howard Taylor. There is no change in that ticket. A lot of coalitions coming up and taking people, different political parties already taking their sides. There were 6 political parties joining the coalition of for democratic change, the CDC, making them 9 in numbers, 9 political parties already in that group working together for President Weah's re-election. And on the flip side, by far, Vice President Joseph Barker, former Vice President of Liberia, that is not someone to be taken for granted. As you know, he already announced Senator Jeremiah Kwankun of Nima County as the running mate to him. So there'll be a lot of cards on the table to play from. But one person that everyone's eyes are on is the political leader of the CPP, that's the Collaborating Political Party, in person of Mr. Alexander Benedict Cummings. And all eyes are on Cummings ahead of the ANC CPP, that is convention, at which time he's expected to announce who his running mate will be. Liberians are listening, are watching to see who Mr. Alexander Cummings is going to pick. There are a number of names, that are out there. Still, I know there is a huge rift in the opposition Liberty Party, divided into 2. Still, by far, although the Supreme Court of Liberia has said Mr. Musa Hassan Belete remains the legitimate chairman of the Liberty Party, that fraction of the Liberty Party strongly supports Mr. Cummings. As you know, Belete serves as chair of the CPP. They support Mr. Cummings, the Belite's fraction, and why the fraction of Senator Yombly Kanga Lawrence of Grand Bassa County is on the other hand, including Senator Darius Dillon and others, and they are there. They were strongly pushing for Yombly's, vice presidential picked. I mean, to be picked as vice presidential running mate to former Vice President Boyka. It did not go their way. It went the Jeremiah Kwankun's way. Henry Costa was also in the race on the list for that nomination or pronouncement, and they did not take him. We saw what happened last week, Friday. It was an elaborate program, huge attendance in Central Monrovia. Unity partisans, gather to show their strength and support for former Vice President Boyka. It was an elaborate one in Monrovia. But key to that is those who Vice President Boyka have worked with over the last few years, including Henry Costa, Darius DeLong, Yombly Kanga Lawrence, Mr. Benani Yuri, the political leader of ALP. They all did not attend, raising serious eyebrows as to whether their support for Boyka remains. There was a long letter from Senator Lawrence on her signature as political leader of the LP, stating that she was consulting with her party and her base to know what would be the next step. And up to now, she's still quiet. We've not heard anything as it relates to that. Mr. Henry Pedro Costa also is quiet, though he posted on his social media that very soon he will be speaking. Liberians' ears are out there, eyes are open to know, what will be coming from Mr. Costa, whether he remains committed to the Boyka ticket, even though he was not selected, even though, Senator Kanga Lawrence was not selected as well. So that is the big thing. Liberians' eyes are out there, but as it stands, it is Weah, Boyka. They are the 2 runners in the upcoming elections until we hear the pick from Mr. Alexander Cummings. But Mr. Cummings has maintained that he remains strong and ready for the job. He's not going to back down. He's going to push for it. And today at a well-attended press conference, he addressed some of the issues affecting Liberia and what a Cummings presidency is poised to do. He talked about the issue of corruption, quoting statements from the U.S. ambassador recently, which went wide in the Liberian media. He talked about hardship the people of Liberia are faced with. He talked about his visit across the country and what he saw on those visits to different parts of Liberia, where the roads and connectivity still remain challenging to Liberians who are commuting across Liberia on a daily basis. He talked about the lack of farm to market road to enable marketers bring their goods and services or products to Monrovia. And we know regularly those are some of the things that Mr. Cummings would point out. But again, he talked about the Cummings presidency, what it will do for Liberians. So we want to play you an excerpt from Mr. Alexander Benedict Cummings' press conference. We hope you can stick and sit tight, and follow us on this edition of Diaspora Talk. My colleague Nathan Charles is out today, so we have to keep it going, connecting the voices and views of the Liberian people at home and here in the diaspora. But we will play the excerpt. We'll also listen to the call. You listen to Representative Yeke Koloba, putting down this need for opposition collaboration, even if the major players are not on a single ticket. There should be collaboration. Will the opposition collaboration, be sustained without hold going into the elections, as they all, are wishing to make President Weah a one-term president according to them? Is that possible? Will they collaborate? Will they remain together even if one party goes into a runoff with President Weah? There's a lot on the table. A lot of political, shifting are taking place in our country. The pundits, the actors doing what they can to make sure that they can put and keep Liberia on the right footpath. And mind you, the second phase of the voters registration is taking place. So if you're out there in those counties, the 9 counties that are on the second phase, make sure you get out and register. Because if you don't, you will not be a part of history making come October 10 of this year. But let's bring you Mr. Alexander Benedict Cummings. Don't go away.
My spirit is one of leadership in fixing things. Yes. My spirit is in fixing systems so that things work better for all to enjoy. Yes. I have no government experience in trying to benefit from corrupt and broken down systems. My experience is one of leadership in standing for principles and the values of hard work, integrity, and honesty, and in keeping promises I make. My experience is one of leadership in doing the right things the right way, and not sacrificing my values and principles just to win. In life, when we try to take shortcuts to success, compromise our values, and believe we do not need to work hard and honestly for what we want, too often we will not get the success we seek or the things we want. When we let ourselves fall for everything, it means we actually stand for nothing. Leaders must stand for something. Like everyone else, I want to win. But I prefer to lose while fighting for real change than to win only to keep things as corruptly and wickedly as they are. Like everyone else, I want to win. But I prefer to lose while fighting for real change than win only to keep things as corruptly and wickedly as they are. In our country, when small people steal, they go to jail. But when big people steal, they go free. When small people commit crime, they get punished. But when big people commit the same crime, they get promoted. This is wrong. And it is why year in and year out, the story of our country, official stealing, and ordinary people suffering cannot change. We have to stop this. We have to stop this. My promise to you, I will lead us with your help and support to stop this nonsense. A Cummings administration will not just fight corruption, we will fix and build the economy. We will not just cook up numbers to say the economy is growing while people pay are being cut, while there are no jobs and children go to bed hungry. We will actually grow the budget and pay people well and on time. We will create jobs, decent paying jobs, to restore people's respect and dignity in their homes and communities. We will provide opportunities for all Liberians to live better lives and to care for their families. This is my area. I have done it all of my professional life. In a Cummings administration, Liberian businesses will succeed. We will protect Liberian businesses, especially Liberian women businesses, and provide them the means they will need to grow. From retail markets, Liberians must grow to own and operate shops. And from shops, Liberians must grow to own stores. I want to see store boys becoming store owners. I want to see young boys become business tycoons. I want to see girls making it, daring to dream and working to make their dreams and not being broken by restrictions wrongly imposed on them at the unfair system. This too is the Liberia we must become. A Liberia that will not be ashamed to help Liberians fairly and honestly succeed. By the way, growing businesses and making people succeed is also my area. We will work to unite our people, feed ourselves, and improve our health and educational systems. Again, these are not empty political promises. We will do what we say we will do. We will do what we say we will do. Yes, we will ask our international partners for help. But before we go asking others to help us, we will responsibly and inclusively use and manage what God has blessed us to have, especially our best human resources, regardless of tribe, gender, religion, or party affiliation. My people, the next 6 years is not for play. The next 6 years is not the time to take risks with our lives. It is not going to be time for big shot business. The whole of our country is already too deep. To climb ourselves out of this hole, we will need all the energies and capacities of our nation. Liberians will have to work hard, work smart, and work for long hours. And I'm prepared to set the example. Let me be as clear as I can be. I am asking the Liberian people for the chance to lead our country, not because I'm looking for a political job. Together and with your help, I want to lead us to change the corrupt system that continues to see us mismanage our God-given wealth, only to keep our people poor. Finally, my people, poverty is not Liberia's destiny. Our government does not have to be so rotten, careless, and irresponsible. Officials do not have to care only about buttering their own bread, while many of our people cannot even buy kobo. It is a shame on any government to make beggars of its people. Under a Cummings presidency, anyone found to have stolen from the people, we will prosecute you. And if found guilty, you will pay back and be sent to common jail. We will stop the 419 leaders and hustlers from on the backs of our people. My people, we who believe in change must stand together and with each other. We who want to move our country forward and not backward must work together for the change our country so desperately needs. We can, and together, should chart a new path, not just to win the election, but more importantly, to fix our country. Today, as always, I open my arms and the CPP to everyone looking to work for real change in our country. Together, let us write a new chapter for our country's future. If not us, then who? If not now, then when? And so, my people, don't ask if Cummings can win. Ask if you are ready. Ask if you are ready for real change. Because if you are ready to change Liberia, as I am ready to do, I promise you that together we will win. We will win massively together. And we will lead differently. Our winning coalition will not just be of parties. It will be for the good of the country. We will change our country and improve the living conditions of our people. At the end of this press statement, the American ambassador asked, is this the best Liberia can offer? I have always said Liberia deserves better. And so I say, no, Mr. Ambassador. Liberia has much more to offer. The best for our country is yet to come. No, Mr. Ambassador, Liberia has much more to offer.
And I tell you, Mr. Alexander Benedict Cummings, the political leader, the political leader of the collaborating political parties, the CPP. You heard him just right, telling Liberians what the Cummings leadership is prepared and ready to do. The arms of the CPP remains open to, other political groupings and everyone. They're willing to work and collaborate. The issue of collaboration is key on the lips of every Liberians in the opposition. People wondering whether this is not a flow show. We listened to Vice President Boyka last week, Jeremiah Cohn last week. But this message that remains resonating with Liberians is the one from Representative Yeke Koluba, talking about the need for an opposition collaboration. Will this happen? It's key. Will this happen? If not, what will it mean for the opposition community? And if it remains as it is, definitely indeed, it's going to be a plus to President Weah in his re-election bid. But let's listen to Representative Yekewa Koluba on this one.
We must work together. Last week I met my uncle in Bomi County. We're trying to still bring the opposition together. It couldn't be on one ticket, but there must be understanding that anybody who sign up to get our support. If we don't do that, second round, we will not be able to reconcile ourselves. If we can solve our problem before the election, we will not be able to solve the problem. And John, we have been president, elected representative, make no difference. It makes no difference. Because any paper you bring there will pass it. You will eat the money, you will suffer. You know, let's see the one in the ambassador say, everything the ambassador said are true. We can sell the money to the minister, we can vote for it, we can eat it. The minister didn't now. Now I said, well, all of the heart, they say no. What do we eat doing now? We get all of the heart. They tell you all of the heart, you know that we are long ago, we can steal money to the president. Oh, sir. Mr. President, these are your people. Liberian people like the drum truck. The drum truck can pay them master and get value for it, right? I do not want your leadership to treat the people that way. When I go to your house, I can see people coming in your living room. You have to lay that down. Because you are making people get used to it and you need to maintain it. Because if you don't maintain it, you will spoil your legacy. The decision made by you today will make you president and will break the unity party down. And take that way to do it. You have people that are dissatisfied. You need to take the leadership and the ability to have the problem resolved. Because if you don't solve that problem, it will be too long. I'm back, our person in the same time, right? But people will be dissatisfied. We solve the problem with the people that are dissatisfied. Yes, we can solve the problem. We need to push our political leader and our vice president in waiting. We need to move to the people. Not talk to them. When we talk to them, that doesn't mean we are being defeated. No, we are not being defeated. But the ability to solve the problem is the ability to win this corrupt government. So we need to push our people. Mr. President, with me, the journey has just started. And the journey is to reconcile the people that have been with you for 4 or 5 years. We need everybody to vote. When like nobody tell you say we don't need a vote. My uncle will not allow you, we need everybody to vote. And we get everybody vote what we right. And we get everybody vote what we right. Let me say, pretend that nobody they pretend. They pretend I'm a boyfriend girlfriend. They pretend I'm a boyfriend girlfriend. When you want to your boyfriend girlfriend thing, you must go to class with yourself.
I tell you, that's Representative Yeke Y call about the guy. You cannot just take him one straight hour or something that will be controversial. But he was speaking there on the weekend at the pronouncement by former Vice President Joseph Newman Boakai of his running mate, Senator Jeremiah Cohn of Nema County. But what remains on the lips of every Liberian is the issue of unity. Will they unite? You listen to Yeke, he was very strong. Without an opposition unity, trust me, he said it will be something that it done one. You listen to Mr. Alexander Cummings today. He's also opening his arms to unity. But is it just flow show, or is it something that the Liberian people will see ahead of October 10th? And since the Unity Party came with Rescue One, we listened to the people calling Cummings today Fixer One. So Baka is Rescue One. George Weah call him the country giant, and then Cummings is now being portrayed as Fixer One, because in his statement today, everything or almost everything was about fixing Liberia. So whether it is going to be Rescue One to rescue Liberia, according to him, Fixer One to fix Liberia, or will it remain in the hands of the quote-unquote country giant? Let's take this very quick break with our sponsor, the Park Liquor Store. It wasn't every little video. I go English as well, but that's it. They are heavily with us. And on the flip side, after this, we will be talking to two guests from the business sector that are here with us on this edition of the Diaspora Talk, and that will be driving us home on today. But let's take this quick break. When we come back, we will usher in our guests. Don't go away. Let your celebration begin with Park Liquor Outlet, your first Liberian-owned liquor store in the city of Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. We have everything that you need to set that special occasion or bride. For your next party or great get-together with friends, visit Park Liquor Outlet. We have great selection of beer, wine, gin, and many more at affordable prices. Our customer service will make you always want to come back. We are open Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Park Liquor Outlet, your one-stop celebration store. We are located at 6315 Zine Avenue North, Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. Visit us today and feel the difference.
Hi, my name is Dr. Kent. Welcome to Brooklyn Chiropractic. Come to Brooklyn Chiropractic if you're having any back or neck pain. Especially, we specialize in treating people in auto and work-related injuries. So we've been established here in Brooklyn Center for the last 14 years. And one of the pleasures that I have is helping out in the community. We've sponsored a lot of events throughout the years in the community, and we really appreciate being a part of the community. So if you're experiencing any pain, give us a try. If you want a drug-free way to get better. Thank you.
And thanks to our sponsors, especially the Park Liquor Store, owned and operated by businessmen Jackson George and Frank Gafuan. The two guys are doing a lot. You're having program in Brooklyn Park or Minnesota as a whole. Just walk there, get your drinks, affordable, and they are willing to work with you on different things. You will hear more about that. And also the Brooklyn Chiropractor, they are helping there in easing pains in your body. You saw Dr. Ken. He's very good and easy to work with. I'm a witness. I was there when I was in the accident. And today I'm all together golfers and the work to do over there. But with all much ado, I would like to welcome our guests to just walk in and they are usher in the man behind the Park Liquor Store, Jackson George. It was a Jackson George. He owns share on the KMTV network now. So Jackson, welcome, and you did come in with Sheikh Yaya Jallo. He's the president of the Painesville Business Association. Jackson always working with these business leaders and connecting the business people from Liberia and here in the diaspora. Sheikh, welcome. Are you the stranger? Jackson is no stranger here, so we'll get him later. Oh, welcome. It's good to have you.
It's a pleasure.
How is it?
Thank you very much. I am here, first time in Minnesota, through the invitation of Honorable Jackson George. I'm Sheikh Jallo, guest came from Liberia. Came to see my family, but thought it wise to visit Minnesota and see the good work that Honorable Jackson George is doing here for the Liberian people and the Liberian back home. I'm from the Painesville Business Association, an institutional member of LIBA.
Okay.
So we are here to look for opportunity because this is a land of opportunity.
That's what everybody will say.
Yeah. So
once you kind of jet in water through the JFK or MSP, we call it here, Minnesota, St. Paul International, Minneapolis, St. Paul. Everybody know that it's a land of opportunities, and people like Jackson probably might be telling you more about that. But what is it like? How is it with? Let's look at your organization. But before we go that route, Mr. George, it's good having you again.
Thank you.
I know you say they better leave you all on this show.
No, but I'm happy to be here. When it comes to business, I'm always trying to get bring exposure to our businesses. You talk about Dr. Kent, a very good friend of mine. He's been in the business for a long time. He's helped the immigrant community very much when it comes to accident and chiropractor services. So I like to see that. Again, like I say, we have the Park Liquor Store that is open to our community, can come and do that. We have the dry cleaning services. Again, in our community, we have a dry cleaning, we have a liquor store, we have event center, the Pepper Rose Event Lodge Center, we have the Waterside Market. I mean, what don't we have? If all of our community can just support our community, $1 stay in the Black community for less than 10 minutes, $1.
And I understand you also discover a dealership and all of that.
Correct. We got dealership, we got shipping company. I mean, we've done enough. It's time to bring exposure, and that's why we did the LIBA Diaspora business exposure to bring to exposure. But we want to talk about Sheikh.
Yeah, Sheikh.
Here.
Yeah, let's.
And it's not just the president of the Painesville business. So I always like to say he owns a Painesville.
Oh, he owns Painesville. Take that for the couple representative.
I know. The guy's a businessman, and so he's coming to the United States. I wanted him to come. Let's talk some business. Let's see how we can network and bring some business to business from Liberia and here. How we can get goods from the United States to Liberia, and how we can get goods from Liberia to the United States. You remember we did $1 billion in African food last year in Minnesota, and Liberia played a small role into that $1 billion. So how can we increase and create jobs on the other end?
If I'm correct, Painesville is the second largest hub, right?
It's the largest. It's the first largest commercial hub within the republic.
Within the Republic of Liberia. Yeah. So and I know that you deal with a lot from Yana boys to throwing the older than throwing a lapa on the cold bag to weather markets to shops, stores, Gorbachev, and the rest of it.
One of the other things, I didn't even know that they had a mall.
Yep.
In Painesville.
They do.
He owns a mall in Painesville.
Yeah, so when I say
I'm friend of a guy who owns
a mall. When I say I'm talking about generally, but what is it like? Tell us, what is it like doing business in Liberia? Maybe I don't know whether you started from small or medium to only or more, but generally, what is it like for you doing business in our country?
Honestly, let me say thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be in your cousin studio. I always had the opportunity to have a press conference sometime with your branch in Liberia. You guys are doing extremely well. To be honest, Liberia is a business hub, I can say, if you know how to start. For us, we inherit our mother, 14, and she started doing business with 2 or 3 bag of rice to a point that after high school, we decided to join her in the shop.
So born and raised in Liberia.
Yeah, born and raised in Liberia. Today, God could have it. We have businesses everywhere in Liberia. Liberia is relatively calm when it comes to business. Just that you have to know how to play your game. Liberia is a country that is open for business. The only thing that we have is to do a network with the Liberian diasporas. I don't know why people got to be taking products or import all their products from other countries, not in America. Distribute the questions. Because we have people like Jackson George in America that is well connected and grounded within the Liberian business, in the diasporas and other companies that are in the US. I think there's a need we all try to see how best we can connect each other, so at least some of the products in America can be shipped to Liberia, and also products from Liberia can be shipped to America. Because now for me, I'm into the importation of general merchandise.
Okay.
Food store. We do flour, sugar, oil, and sardine, all those stuff. From other countries like Turkey, China, other places. And also into real estate. So that's what I was talking with him. I saw there's a need. We all work together. I must commend him because whenever he go to Liberia, he don't just sit at his hotel room, watching movie, but he go from places to all the Liberian businesses and make sure to understand what their challenges and what the diaspora can help in order to move that business forward. So I want to thank him for that, and that's a need. We do it collectively and do more of that.
And how long I know you say from young, but how many years now as a professional business person?
Since 15 years.
15 years I mean on your own.
No, on my own since 21 years now.
21 years now.
Yes.
So and tell us, somebody listening to you, whether at home or watching you from abroad, would like to know what are some of the challenges that you go through, in making sure that you can turn the wheels of our business communities.
It's lack of finance. Lack of finance. This is the challenges that every Liberian is facing and our Liberian businesses are facing. If you were to go to the bank, the interest rate is very high, astronomical high. Sometimes they will tell you 14%, 15% to loan you just maybe an amount that you cannot import or continue with. And at the end of the day, before you even obtain that loan, you have already finished giving 50% of what they're going to give you.
Back into the process.
Back into the process. Then after taking the loan, in 2 or 3 months, they will tell you to start paying the money back. So at the end of the day, that's why I see a lot of businesses are completely out of business. Not because they do not have the technical know-how or the will to do the business, but because the lack of financial support. And this is cut across. So we are calling our government to see how best they can provide some financial assistance for Liberian businesses.
Have you worked with the Central Bank, the Ministry of Finance, LRA,
The small business, the SBA.
The small.
So, I mean, I don't know if it's Central Bank, but I think we need to establish, I understand there's a department within the Ministry of Commerce that works with small businesses, but I don't know if they are giving loans outside of the financial institutions that are out there.
No,
that's something that we can look
at. I know sometime back, Mr. George, you spoke about the issue of capacity building of businesses in Liberia, and for a bank to look at you and give you money, you have to be, credit ready, or or bank ready, and that I believe Liba has been doing here with his members. With what he's explaining, what are plans to extending this to business owners in Liberia?
I mean, you're right. We've trained almost 300 businesses in terms of macro financing, business development here in the diaspora. And we are looking at duplicating that same program into Liberia. One of the challenges will be if we train, then we must be able to provide the resources, right? So we will be going to Liberia sometime this year. We will be talking to banking institutions, but I think one of the things I'd like to see, how can we create a credit union that works for small and micro businesses.
Certainly.
And then when we train these businesses and build the capacity, then we give them the resources they need to be able to do some of the things that they need to do. So, I mean, it's a good question, but we are still evaluating that. Again, most of the time, people see things through political lens, but I see things from a business point of view.
Certainly.
And so if we business people can come together and build our own credit union, 90% of the banks in Liberia are not Liberian owned. So, you know, they're not willing to do the things that they're supposed to do to bring development to the homeland.
Certainly.
You know, so why don't we create our own banks? Why don't we create our own credit union or financial institutions to make sure that works just for business people?
Yeah, just to add up to what Jackson was saying, to be honest with you, what he says is exactly the same. What we are currently going through. Like both of those banks that are in Liberia, they prefer loaning their money to foreign nationals than typical Liberians. These are some of the challenges. At 100% support of what he just said. If we can come together to business people and to have a credit union where we can loan our own people, trust me, we will have a millionaire in Liberia, because we have right now potential Liberian businesses that is willing to do all they can to make sure that they are in the private sector. Because I mean, nowhere like the private sector, nowhere like business. You can be in the government just for a short period of time. You can accumulate the wealth that you want to accumulate. But after your government, what will become of you? You have no technical know-how to use what you earn during your government time in office to actualize those things. So the only way that you can sustain or you can make progress or you can have your fortune is, moving forward is through the private sector. So I do agree with him. If we can have a trade union that will work collectively, that we can have our own bank that we can loan our people, we can have a millionaire in Liberia.
And I know a lot of people will complain that doing business in Liberia is difficult. You know, the channels you have to follow. Somebody wanting to establish a new business, what can you tell them? From the ground, business registration. How is it like now compared to before?
Yeah, relatively business registration and to set up a business in Liberia is not that much challenging compared to before.
Okay.
Because now we have the registration center. Now we can apply online and get your business registration at 2-3 days time. Unlike before, you have to go and do physical appearance, and at the end of the day, probably it will take you a week. So the setup of business is not that much difficult to get to obtain your document through the requirement of the ministry, especially like LRA. It's not that much difficult compared to before.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, generally, now looking at partnership with LIBA, I know there are a lot of things that are on the table. Mr. George, you'd like to touch on that? How are you bringing these groups in, and what level of partnership you're looking at?
Sometimes it seems difficult, but we have to identify some of the major Liberian business owners in Liberia and see how and see how they can own businesses here. You know, when I created Strategy Africa, the question I ask myself, the West come into our continent and collect our raw materials and everything and bring it abroad.
Sure.
What are we taking from here? Education. Education that might not basically work.
The student loans.
Yeah. Education that basically might not even work, because to use the education from the West, you have to blend that with the tradition, the custom, and the environment. And most of the time we want to get our education here and take it and try to fit it in Liberia. It's not going to work. Right? So if she can come to the United States, establish a business here, that business become a hub to support the business in Liberia. And that's what we want to do. We have to change our strategy of just owning business in Liberia, and no, he can own a business here. And that is why I'm encouraging Liberian business owners to come to the United States, partner with us, or own businesses here. And have that. Now, if he owns a business here, he can ship his own product from here to Liberia. He doesn't need a middleman.
Certainly.
You understand? If he's into marginalizing, open a business here, create his own business facility, and export his business and import. That would be easier. He would make more foreign exchange. He will be able to turn his money over and do what he wants to do in Liberia. So those are some of the things that we are working on, and it takes time. It's not a rocket
And what's
science.
challenging in making sure that happens?
Well, it's just a strategy change. We've never thought that way before. Now we're saying, come here, register your own business, own a business in the United States. So the issue of visa will not be a problem. If you own a business here, you got a business, you got to come to a business. They're not going to deny him visa to come to run his business. You know, so those are some of the things that we want to do and make it work.
Yeah, just to add up, I think for me, for my understanding, is just the challenges that we have. Maybe it's in terms of spreading the message out there to the people. Yeah, that's the main challenge, because right now you see a lot of people, a lot of businesses will go to China and fabricate things and say made in USA, and take it to Liberia, take it to Africa. That product will move like anything before. And so like he said, the only thing that we have to do is to collaborate with the forces that are in the country and that of the diaspora to see how best we can give them, spread the message to Liberian and have something like symposium, explain to them the opportunity that are in Liberia. Like when you say, that in America, people living from here going under extra our natural resources. Bring it here. Why we can't get anything in return, from America to back to Liberia. I think it's just the message, and something that here I've been talking. I can assure you that I'm going to have an establishment here in terms of business, that I'm going to have a branch both in Liberia and here, that will be, that will be moving along the way, because a lot of businesses you will see like a business pricing will have a branch in Liberia, and they also have another office in Dubai or elsewhere. Exactly. While we can have it in America. So this is a thing that we're going to work on collectively to see how best we can make this.
I know you talk about trading in sugar, flour, and other things. Are you exploring other avenues as well?
Well, let me just ask you that. Let's say you open a business here. Now, he's not buying from a third party anymore. You can go directly to the manufacturer.
Certainly.
So if the prices from China, you want to beat the prices from China, if you're buying from third party, then your prices will be high. You got to put your markup.
Oh, yeah.
But if you open a business here, you rate these companies directly and say, look, I need a container of flour. He's buying directly from the manufacturer, which would definitely reduce your price as compared to buying from third party or fourth party just to get those products. Then when you take the product to Liberia, it becomes high because you pay so much for it already. So people want to buy the product from China.
Yeah.
But that is why it's necessary to open a business here and have a hub here to ship his sugar, his flour, and his products to Liberia.
Yeah. So what other areas you're looking at, commodities wise? Just directly into that.
Basically, I'm looking at everything, anything that can bring revenue. I'm looking at it. I'm not going to limit myself. This is a land of opportunity. So basically, I'm here to look for any opportunity that will generate revenue that will benefit my country and my employees that I have back home. So I'm looking up to the mover and shaker of this place, which is Honorable Jackson George. I have no iota of doubt in his ability to lead me to these places. And I'm going to, once I return back home, I'm going to extend the message to all my other colleagues.
What's going to be the message to your
the message that there's an opportunity in America. We should not just focus in China or Turkey. There's an opportunity here that we can tap in the knowledge of Honorable Jackson George, he's been here for a very long time, and he is very knowledgeable as to how business is moving in this country. So we can try to explore some of the opportunities that are here to buy home.
All right, we almost out of time. Mr. George, is there anything else you want to add as a closing?
I want to thank KMTV. We crush your show. We are show crushers.
You always do that.
But I want to thank Sheikh for coming to the States to look at business opportunities in America. And I want people watching. If you're watching out there and you're in one of these industries that he's talking about or your product, talk to him. Let's network. But again, the major thing I'm asking Liberian business owners is that you can own businesses in the United States. There's nothing wrong with you being in Liberia and own a business here and be able to move products. It's easier to do that in the United States than anywhere in the world. So come here, open another business here, have your own business here, even non-profit organization. You can open your non-profit in Liberia. You can have a non-profit in America. To raise funds to be able to help. Let us be able to think like the way the West think about us. They come and mine our resources and bring it here. Let mine their resources and take it there.
And that's all right. Sheikh, it was good having you, and we hope that whenever you're around, you'll feel free to stop in. Let's keep talking Liberia, because that's our home. Even away from home, we should keep our country on the front burner. Is there anything final you want to say?
Yeah, I just want to thank you and thank Honorable Jackson George. To be honest, I am very much impressed. Everything that he said here, that's the fact. We have to see how best we can explore the opportunity that in the U.S. And to be honest, I'm really impressed about him, because with all this idea and suggestion that he's talking about here, not every Liberian will try to explain these things to others. People that know this, they will keep it to themselves. Not to try to bring anybody closer, because probably they will feel to themselves that maybe this person will maximize, or they will be on top of them. But he's very open. When he here, you will see him that, when he go back home, he will be sure and visit almost all the businesses to know their challenges and provide alternative for them. We want to thank you to keep on this kind of trajectory. And we are looking forward to be back here again in a shorter period of time, maybe. Well, we invite you for you to come in and put the rubbing of
It's like when a blind man says, I'm going to stone you, he's already holding that stone. But Sheikh Yaya Jallo is the president of the Pinsville Business Association and an institutional member of the Liberian Business Association and the Chamber of Commerce, swinging by on a family visit, according to him, but he thought it wise to, make sure you can find the business people here and the best hands. Jackson George, he's the head of the Liberian Business Association, Liba Diaspora. I'd like to say thanks, guys. And to those of you watching, I'd like to say thanks for following us on this edition of Diaspora Talk. We are back here on Wednesday's team time. But until then, do have yourself a wonderful time. Let's leave you with the Pack Liquor Store, our proud sponsor here on KMTV. Bye-bye.
Let your celebration begin with Pack Liquor Outlet, your first Liberian-owned liquor store in the city of Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. We have everything that you need to set that special occasion or bride. For your next party or great get-together with friends, visit Pack Liquor Outlet. We have great selection of beer, wine, gin, and many more at affordable prices. Our customer service will make you always want to come back. We are open Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Pack Liquor Outlet, your one-stop celebration store. We are located at 6315 Zine Avenue North, Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. Visit us today and feel the difference.
We must work together. Last week I met my uncle in Bombay County. We're trying to still bring the opposition together. It couldn't be on one ticket, but there must be understanding that anybody who sign up to get our support. If we don't do that, second round, we will not be able to reconcile ourselves. If we can solve our problem before the election, we will not be able to solve the problem. And John, we are being president, elected representative, make no difference. It makes no difference. Because any paper you bring there, we will pass it. We will eat the money, you will suffer. You know, let's see the one in the Masala say, everything that the Masala say are true. We can sell the money to the minister, we can go for it, we can eat it. The minister didn't now. Now I said, we'll order the heart and say, no, what do we do now? We can order the heart. They gave you all that hour, you know that we no longer know we can speak more than the president. Oh, sir!
When the issues of Liberia hit the news,
What is it that we, the Liberian people, want?
the Liberian communities in the diasporas are not left out. That's why Diaspora's Talk is back on your screens on KMTV.
In fact, the United Party is not cohesive.
Be it social, political, economic and other issues affecting Liberia and the diaspora Liberian communities.
I did not expect to even make it to Hollywood.
Join Cyrus McGee and Nathan Charles every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, live on KMTV, Facebook, and YouTube.
I want to be arrested in the midst of my people.
As they discuss the issues, blend the voices from Liberia and the diaspora Liberian communities.
The Liberian Business Association in the Diaspora should be used as a vehicle for economic development in Liberia because no country can develop without a diaspora impact.
For sponsorship, call some numbers 612-806-5896, 816-433-3979, or better still, email us at usakmtv@gmail.com.
Diaspora Talk, check this out.
Hi, my name is Dr. Kent. Welcome to Brooklyn Chiropractic. Come to Brooklyn Chiropractic if you're having any back or neck pain. Especially, we specialize in treating people in auto and work-related injuries. So we've been established here in Brooklyn Center for the last 14 years. And one of the pleasures that I have is helping out in the community. We've sponsored a lot of events throughout the years in the community. And we really appreciate being a part of the community. So if you're experiencing any pain, give us a try if you want a drug-free way to get better. Thank you.